Jobs and growth, two of the biggest issues facing the country right now. The president says that anyone who claims America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
The president tried to paint a rosy picture of jobs. The millionaires and billionaires are doing great under Obama, but we have the lowest percentage of Americans working today of any year since 1977. Median wages have stagnated, and the Obama-Clinton economy has left behind the working men and women of this country.
Governor Christie, sometimes it seems the world is on fire. Where and when should a president use military action to restore order?
Well, Maria, I'm glad to have heard from you about what's going on in the world, because on Tuesday night I watched Story Time with Barack Obama, and I got to tell you, it sounded like everything in the world was going amazing, you know? The president doesn't understand, and by the way, neither does Secretary Clinton, and here's my warning to everybody out in the audience tonight. If you're worried about the world being on fire, you're worried about how we're going to use our military, you cannot give Hillary Clinton a third term of Barack Obama's leadership. I will not do that. If I'm the nominee, she won't get within 10 miles of the White House.
Just to be clear,
Governor Bush, the president just told the nation 2 nights ago that America's back, and that the idea that our enemies are getting stronger or that this country is getting weaker, well, it's just rhetoric and hot air.
We're in a much different position than we should be. Hillary Clinton would be a national security disaster. If she gets elected, she's under investigation with the FBI right now. If she gets elected, her first 100 days, instead of setting an agenda, she might be going back and forth between the White House and the courthouse. We need to stop that.
She wouldn't just be a disaster. Hillary Clinton is disqualified from being Commander-in-Chief of the United States. Someone who cannot handle intelligence information appropriately cannot be Commander-in-Chief, and someone who lies to the families of those 4 victims in Benghazi can never be President of the United States. When I'm President of the United States, we are going to win this war on ISIS. The most powerful intelligence agency in the world is going to tell us where they are. The most powerful military in the world is going to destroy them. And if we capture any of them alive, they are getting a one-way ticket to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Dr. Carson, the president says he does not want to treat ISIS as a foreign army.
Well, I'm very happy to get a question this early on. I was going to ask you to wake me up when the time came. The fact of the matter is, he doesn't realize that we now live in the 21st century, and that war is very different than it used to be before. And we have enemies who are obtaining nuclear weapons that they can explode in our exo-atmosphere. I mean, just think about a scenario like that. They explode the bomb, we have an electromagnetic pulse, they hit us with a cyber attack simultaneously, and dirty bombs.
No, the U.S. Constitution says only natural-born citizens are eligible for the office of President of the United States. But that fellow next to you, Donald Trump, and others, have said that being born in Canada means you are not natural born.
Well, Neil, I'm glad we are focusing on the important topics of the evening. You know, back in September, my friend Donald said that he had had his lawyers look at this from every which way, and there was no issue there. Since September, the Constitution hasn't changed. But the poll numbers have. Standing U.S. law, the child of a U.S. citizen born abroad is a natural-born citizen. That's why John McCain, even though he was born in Panama, was eligible to run for president. You're an American, as is everybody else on this stage, and I would suggest we focus on who's best prepared to be commander-in-chief, because that's the most important question facing the country.
NBC Wall Street Journal just came out with a poll. Headline, Trump way up, Cruz going down. I mean, so you can't, they don't like the Wall Street Journal, they don't like NBC, but I like the poll. And frankly, because now he's doing a little bit better. No, I didn't care before. It's true. No, it's true. Hey, look, he never had a chance. Now he's doing better. He's got probably a 4 or 5% chance.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
And I've spent my entire life defending the Constitution before the U.S. Supreme Court, and I'll tell you, I'm not going to be taking legal advice from Donald Trump. And I'll tell you what, Donald, you very kindly just a moment ago offered me the VP slot. I'll tell you what, if this all works out, I'm happy to consider naming you as VP.
I'm very angry. because our country is being run horribly. Our health care is a horror show. We have no borders. Our vets are being treated horribly. Illegal immigration is beyond belief. Our country is being run by incompetent people. And yes, I am angry.
Kasich, Hillary Clinton is getting some serious competition from Senator Bernie Sanders. So what does it say about our country that a candidate who is a self-avowed socialist could be the Democratic nominee?
Well, if that's the case, we're going to win every state if Bernie Sanders is the nominee. That's not even an issue.
Do we still have standards? Do we still have values and principles? You know, you go to the internet, you start reading an article, and you go to the comment section. You cannot go 5 comments down before people are calling each other all manner of names. Where did that spirit come from in America? It did not come from our Judeo-Christian roots, I can tell you that.
Right here.
We don't need to add new rules. We need to make sure the FBI does its job.
Senator Rubio, you've said that President Obama wants to take people's guns away, yet under his presidency, gun sales have more than doubled.
That sounds like people afraid the president's going to take their guns away.
Of course.
Because criminals don't buy their guns from a gun show. They don't buy their guns from a collector. And they don't buy their guns from a gun store. They steal them. They get them on the black market.
The president wants to do things without working with his Congress, without working with the legislature, and without getting the consent of the American people. Because here's what I'd like to tell him. Mr. President, we're not against you. We're against your policies. The American people have rejected your agenda, and we are going to kick your rear end out of the White House come this fall.
Senator Cruz, you suggested Mr. Trump, quote, embodies New York values. Could you explain what you mean by that?
You know, I think most people know exactly what New York values are socially liberal, or pro-abortion, or pro-gay marriage, focused around money and the media.
And I have to tell you, that was a very insulting statement that Ted made.
Mr. Trump, your comments about banning Muslims from entering the country created a firestorm. Is there anything you've heard that makes you want to rethink this position?
No. We have to find out what's going on. I said temporarily. I didn't say permanently. And